Have you ever had a homeowner tell you, yeah, I'll sell my house for the right price, and you were stuck on what to say next? Well, keep watching as I show you a few cold calls that I went through and had to handle seller objections. Hey, what's up? It's Dara, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and coach out of Atlanta, Georgia. And this video is a recording that I did kind of on the fly of two different cold calls that I made. So I didn't even think to record them at the start. So they're kind of like in between. So I will give you the backstory and the objections that I am actually overcoming with the individual sellers.
This is right.
If the price is right, you would sell it?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a right price in mind?
150. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go out of the country. I will be back in May the 5th. After May the 5th, I can't talk right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm leaving tonight. Okay, so call me after in May.
In May. Okay, I will. And I hope you have a safe journey.
Thanks very much. I'm going out of the country.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So in that short call just now, the seller, I asked, hey, would you be interested in selling your house? And he said, for the right price, I would. So you heard me ask him, oh, okay, so you would sell it for the right price. What is that right price? And that is how you get them to say their number. And if you pay attention, maybe go back and replay that part. If you pay attention, he almost gave me his number until he realized, oh, you know, I have to go and whatever the case was. So definitely will follow up with him like he asked. But that's a simple way because it kind of throws him off. And that's kind of what negotiation is he who knows the most or she who knows the most wins. So the more questions you ask and the more answers you get out of somebody else, the more equipped you are with information to hopefully leverage in the negotiation. So again, his objection was, yeah, I'll sell it, but for the right price. And so I was like, okay, so sounds good. What's the right price?
So they're building that one right there beside it. Just one of those big, huge contemporary ones that they're building now that are going for like $750,000 or $800,000.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and he's an investor across the other side. I said, man, can you buy that house for $289 and still make a profit? He said, absolutely.
Got it. And he didn't want to buy yours?
I'm not trying to say I didn't have mine for sale, and he didn't ask me if I would sell mine. You did. He didn't.
Okay, great. So that's all you had to say. You're not interested in selling it. You just wanted to go back and forth and do this.
Didn't say I'm not interested in selling it. If you give me $300,000 for it, I'd sell it to you.
Okay, now do you need $300,000 in cash, or can you take that over time? Because I can give you $300,000 over time.
How much time?
I don't know. We can go from there. We typically start around 5 years, so it'd be a note. And I know you said you paid $62,000 for it, so I don't know if by now it's free and clear. So if that's the case, you pocket all the money over 5. You know, you'd be the bank, you'd be the mortgage holder, basically.
So you want me to loan you the money for the house for 5 years, and you make payments to me,
right?
$300,000 over 5 years,
right?
What interest can I charge you?
That is a great question. What do the banks charge?
About 5.5 or 6. You gonna pay me that much? How many for 5-year mortgage? Yeah. In fact, I'm getting one right now on another piece of property, so I know what they're charging.
You're getting a 5-year mortgage.
I'm getting a 7-year.
Oh, okay. Got it.
On another piece I'm trying to buy, so.
Okay, so you invest in property as well?
Well, I just buy property as it comes available.
Okay, and rent it out, or, I mean, I'm sure there's
No, I just own it.
Oh, okay. And you don't allow it to produce income for you?
At the moment, I'm not, because I use the one in Atlanta to live there because I work in Atlanta. So I live there during the week and live in my lake house on the weekends.
Oh, I see. Got it. So you do have properties all over just for that.
Yeah,
okay.
I have property in South Georgia that's got a bunch of land with it. So I have property for the city. I have property on the lake. I have property in the country with land. So.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So, again, Mark, the reason for my call, and I'm sure every other investor's call, it sounds like you're a bit...
It's frustrating.
Right, frustrating.
Every single day I get a call, and nobody... You're the first person. I will say this. Thank you for saying you give me $100,000. Now I know what you guys are all about. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get something for nothing. That's what all you guys are trying to do.
Well, it looks like the property is, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, only 756 square feet, correct?
It's about 1,000 square feet. It doesn't matter with the property, the house. I mean, probably going to knock down the house. You're buying the property. You're not buying the house.
And how much do you think that all of that would take? You know, you mentioned the contemporary homes and, you know, everything about the neighborhood. I mean, it's not something for nothing if it takes a lot of money for us to even revitalize or even rebuild a property, you know. So it's all about profit, Mark.
If you're going to take $300,000 or $400,000 and invest it in a location, and then you're going to turn around and build a house for $150,000 or $200,000, you're going to sell it for $8,000. You're going to make $200,000 right there. That's, you know.
You know somebody who can build a house like that for $150,000? Wow, I would love that person.
Well, you're not going to pay me $400,000. I was including that in some of your costs for building your house. I mean, you pay me $300,000 for my lot. You build the house for $300,000. Now you got $600,000 in it, and you sell it for $800,000. That's what is that? You invested $6,000, and now you have $8,000 in your pocket.
And there's things in your area properties in your area that went for $8,000 that you've seen, you know. So
if you go all the way up and down Barnes Street, there's like 4 or 5 of those new contemporary houses, and that's about what they're going for.
Got it. Well, let me ask you, Mark, since you do, I guess you don't invest necessarily, but would you buy your house for $300,000 if somebody was selling it to you for that much?
Well, I wouldn't be buying it because I'm not an investor. You are. I'm not an investor.
But you buy properties, is what you said.
I buy things when people don't really want them anymore.
Got it. And that's what we do. And it sounds like you are not one of those people, so I no longer want to waste my time or yours on this beautiful Sunday. So, Mark, I really do hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I apologize for any other frustration that I or any investors caused you.
Tell me again the name of your company so I'll make sure I don't pay any attention to you anymore in the future. What's the name of your company?
You don't have to pay attention to us because we won't be bothering you any further. So thank you so much for your time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Now, in this call that you just listened to, the objection was pretty much the same, more or less. I asked him if he'd be interested in selling it. And this call, I started recording, I think, maybe 4 minutes into the call. And I was like, ooh, I wish they would have heard it from the beginning because he let me have it. Boy, did he let me have it. But brushed that off, you know, and kept the conversation going. I really could have and probably should have cut it short a while ago. But there's a few reasons why I didn't. But again, his objection was pretty much the same. Hey, are you interested in selling your house? You people call me all the time. I get these calls every single day. What's your number? What's your offer? What's your offer? So his objection was basically, give me your number. What? Yeah, sure. You know, what are you going to offer me? And he asked, well, I said, well, what would you sell it for? And he said $300,000. That was his number. And I was like, okay, so how did you come up with that? And he just knew that this house up the street and that house around the corner sold for X, Y, and Z. Or he said, no, they're going for. And I was like, well, going for and sold aren't the same thing. Of course, just educating him in the most polite Dara way possible. Honestly, had a smile on my face the whole entire time because at this point when sellers are irate and upset at me, it's just, I don't take it personally, especially because he's like, I get these calls every day. Well, guess what? You don't get these calls from me every day. So I understand your frustration, but it ain't at me, homie. And he obviously was not that mad to be able to answer certain questions that I asked. So also take note, if you heard him say, he was like, well, thank you, because you're the only person who actually gave me a number. Now I know what you guys are all about. And this is the reason why I gave a number, the most arbitrary number. I just pulled out my rear end because, like I said, it was only at a certain point during the call that I actually pulled up the address and was like, where's this even at? So I just said, 100,000. You want a number? Here it is. And that's because, yeah, he was pressing me. He was like, well, you know, give me 300,000 for it, 300,000. And I explained to him, well, me and every other investor that has called you won't give you a number until we actually go and see the property and assess what's going on with it. Yeah, well, you won't be able to do that and da-da-da-da-da. So I said, you know what, here you go. 100K, take it or don't. So usually whenever a homeowner asks me or presses me to give a number or an offer first, the first thing I tell him is that I would not be able to do so without having first seen the property. I may or may not, depending on the person's personality, the mood I'm in, the type of energy or time that I have to expend on this person, I would also put it into their own perspective. So, hey, if you were shopping for a house for yourself and say it was in New York or some other place that you haven't seen the house yet, would you put an offer on it without having seen it? Wouldn't you want to go see it? Or anything, a dress. If you were buying a dress or something online or whatever the case is, would you buy it if there was no pictures of the dress? Would you buy it if you have not seen it? Whatever it is that you're buying, would you or would you not want to see it first? And so if they're still pressing, if they're still like, no, well, you called me, you want to know because you said you'll offer me a price. So what is it? Then and only then would I give a number, something very low. And then, of course, they'll come up with, oh, well, I see what you're about and things like that. And they're like, okay. So that's not what you're looking for. What is it that you're looking for? How much is it that you're looking for? Or something along those lines. And, of course, as just like him, 9 times out of 10, if a homeowner is acting or behaving that way or asking these questions, they're not motivated. So cut the cord. Cut the ties, don't waste your time, and move on to the next one. I wanted to just record this video, share these cold calls, because the previous ones that I have shared have always been like, oh my gosh, Dara, you're so good with sellers. And not saying that I'm not, but they're not always going to be, we're best friends and we're building rapport about dogs, grandchildren, and whatever else. So, you know, sometimes you have to get to the point. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'm always the one still asking questions, no matter if they're like more friendly questions versus, you know, right back at you kind of question. So just seeing different temperaments and how I handle different personalities and things like that on a cold call. So if you got something from this video, if you found value in it, please give me a thumbs up. Share this video and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. Also, I am wearing this bird dog t-shirt that you have probably seen me wear in a few of my videos. It's one that I've designed. So if you would like one of your own, go ahead and check down in the description box below on how you can get yours and other t-shirts pertaining to real estate that I've designed. Down there, you'll also find contracts that I have for sale, 5 of them to be exact. There are leads down there, a calendar to schedule a consultation with me if you so choose, as well as a link to join my coaching program. That's all I got for y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.